everyone, welcome to BohoMystic. My name is Marinelly, and if you've been here before, welcome back. I really appreciate you guys stopping by again. And if you're new here, you're more than welcome, and we'd love for you to join the family. I just wanted to thank everyone for all their support. The numbers are growing on the channel, and it really warms my heart, and I really am super grateful. So thank you so much. Today we're going to do your mid-month reading for all the signs. I did my zodiac wheel. I've already pre-pulled the cards. Took forever, but they're here. And I've decided to start with Virgo since we're ending Virgo season. We are sandwiched between these two eclipses. Again, I like to find out what's going on. Your September readings were pretty intense, pretty big. I know it's been a huge energetically charged month. I definitely been feeling it. From what I see and hear and have been reading, I think a lot of people are. I think new versions of us and the collective are being birthed. We've been through a lot, and we're going through a lot. And the most recent videos I've put up on my channel really have been trying to focus on our embodied selves here in this iteration of our lives, and finding that peace and balance and grounding that we so desperately need, I believe. So if you're interested in that and looking for readings that really tackle our day-to-day experiences here, I have some of those up, and more are coming because I pre-filmed them and they're going to be uploaded soon. So I think that's all the housekeeping I have. So Virgo, you're up. Mid-month, September 2025. This upcoming weekend will be the 21st, and that will be the next eclipse. So yeah, let's see what we have for you, Virgo. The Ocean. And this is the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. And the vastness of our emotions. Is this where you find yourself in the vastness of the ocean? I know that we've really touched on your spiritual path, Virgo, and your ascension. I know that your readings have been very heavily tilted in that way. Is this where you find yourself in tune, or are you being overwhelmed by your emotions? All right, then we have whoops. There's spilt milk. Yeah. Number 33, all things are possible. Compassion, guidance, inspiration, and divine intervention. Heightened intuition. Call to serve and uplift the collective. You know, I was going to say, are you highly in tune with what's going on around you and you're overwhelmed by those emotions? And I kept getting the sign Cancer coming forward. And I knew it was the Virgo reading. But maybe you are, or you have very significant Cancer placements, or you find yourself highly in tune right now with the spiritual world, realm. Because the heightened intuition or the heightened emotions where a spilled carton of milk could potentially trigger you. It could be overwhelming. Whereas in the past, you would have found it potentially insignificant. You're more of a live wire potentially right now because you're so tapped in. Maybe like a Cancer would be. The Hermit, Virgo. Under Ocean. It is your season. You may have really come alive energetically this month, this season specifically. I feel like you're in your emotions. The Devil, under Whoops, and King of Air. It's a King of Swords. That's air and fire, under 33. This is the 8th House Tarot, and I do have another tarot deck to clarify everything. If you give me a sec. Your emotions are spilling out everywhere. You're having difficulty in containing your emotions, and you could potentially be more emotional than you normally are. And you will find yourself potentially keeping to yourself and not engaging in drama, conflict, or conversations that could potentially trigger you because you're worried about an overreaction or for you to go down a rabbit hole of emotions that you are having difficulty in suppressing right now. If this is you coming into intuitive abilities and trying to rein them in, or you haven't started to rein them in and hone them properly, you may want to do that because it can be very overwhelming when you're tapped in and channeling. I was going to say, you may have started to channel. And if you don't cleanse your aura and cleanse your energetic field and your home or your sessions in your practice, you could be potentially leaving yourself vulnerable to heightened emotions all the time. You could be accessing or being influenced by hectic, chaotic energy all the time that you're not ready yet to, that you shouldn't necessarily be exposed to all the time. I'm going to quickly clarify a few things now. The Devil again. The ties that bind. And this is for Virgo in the ocean. Or you're having difficulty in, you're having difficulty in finding your wheelhouse of introspection. You feel like you are swimming. I mean, you're an earth sign. There's definitely a call for you to ground yourself. And it starts with cleansing. I think that you are inundated with energetic frequencies that you're not accustomed to being subjected to for so long. The fact that this is, I feel like, is suppressing your power, right? The Devil suppressing the Hermit card, which is your card. It's very auspicious to getting your own reading. And the ocean, even in the ocean's description, it talks about the ocean's filled with your tears. And I'm worried that your power is being squelched. Your lantern, your fire is being squelched by all the water. You're having difficulty in controlling the emotions. For the Devil and the Whoops, I have 2. Oh, I have 3. Wow. 3 of Tangibles, which is 3 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Adult of Tangibles, which is the King of Pentacles and the Star. And the King of Pentacles card has grounded written all over it. Your way to healing, feeling out of control, right, is through grounding. It's through grounding, Virgo. Yeah, that's the healing that you need. It says we all need a community to heal on. You know, if this goes into what I was saying about you, what the 33 said about being called to serve and uplift the collective, and that's what you've kind of committed yourself to, that's been your calling, because I know we also have touched upon you being called to service somehow. Maybe in that process, you've overgiven of yourself, and this is a call for you to rein in how much you're giving and make sure you're giving to yourself first. Because once, you know, a lot of times empaths, those that want to help others, those that give of themselves to heal others, forget to do that for themselves. And I feel like this is a process of, there's a newness to this, and you may feel and be ungrounded, especially now with these eclipses, where you've been the last one in line to receive the gifts that you're giving others. And I think you need to change that. And that's a huge also cycle and lesson that we all need to learn. And it doesn't take away from how wonderful you are and your calling to help others. But you can't give from an empty well. Yeah. We need the air and fire back with the King of Swords. We need to balance the King of Swords in this vast ocean of emotions. We need to bring you out of this, I just got despair, so that you can continue your mission, which I believe you now have and have committed yourself to. Yeah, I don't think I need to clarify that. Wow, Virgo. This really ties in with all the readings we've done for you, with the exception that you are now in the thick of things. And I think with all the energy that's everywhere, influencing all of us, you have potentially taken on too much. And Virgos do that. Keep close attention to that. There is no perfection that you will be able to reach. What you have to offer within your limitations at this moment is perfect. You don't need to reach and overreach. I'm losing my voice. My throat pinched really badly. You need to cleanse. You absolutely need to cleanse. You do not need to give everything of yourself so that you can be seen as a wonderful person, or be seen so that your spirituality can be seen and felt by others. It is already felt and seen. But please cleanse your space, cleanse yourself. It could be just as simple as when you're bathing, asking the water to cleanse you and protect you and wash away all energy that does not serve you. I think that's very important. And if you are starting to use and channel and use your abilities, just take a moment and close up shop. You know, when I used to hear that, I used to think it was funny, but I now understand it. Close up shop and just ask that the energy that does come to you, or the messages that do seep through are of love and light and meant for you and for your journey, to help you on your journey when you're not seeking it specifically. Yeah. All right, Virgo, that's what I see for you for the end of the month. Right now we are sandwiched between these eclipses. This video should be up before the eclipse. So I wish you nothing but the best. And I also send you a lot of protection and light and love at this time. Till next time. Bye. Okay, Libra, you're up. Let's see what the cards have for you. The Medallion. This is from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. Are you reaching a milestone? You may be. This is you reaching a milestone through this eclipse season, and cycle breaking is what I just heard. Yeah, I definitely think so. I do remember part of your reading for this past month. And looking back at your reading, I can see this. You reaching some kind of finality to something that was bogging you down, that was potentially going to hold you back. Friendly creature. Has 4 eyes and it's red. I got germ. But like something that gobbles up everything that it needs to gobble up. He looks like he's a fish eating other. But that wouldn't be very friendly, would it? But that's what I'm getting. Like, he's the cleaner. He's cleaning up what doesn't serve you. You know, it's kind of like autophagy. Like cleaning up the cells that are no longer effective or are defective. Or the germs. I did say germs, so maybe the germs that are around you. It's like you have a cleaner, your own personal cleaner around you. Boundaries. Self-care is not selfishness, it is growth. Oh, is this your own personal guide that's working around you? Your own personal angel? Helping erect those boundaries? Or helped you erect those boundaries? Or maybe you were seen as a friendly creature, but you reached some kind of breaking point, right? With the Medallion. Not in a bad way, but a moment of growth in your own life where you now can clean out. Because I keep getting cleaner with this card. It's so crazy. That's how I'm looking at it. Even though it's up, I look at it this way. I'm seeing it this way. You've learned to clean house and erect boundaries around yourself. And that is probably a huge cycle that you broke and a huge lesson that you've learned. And that is for most people. Water, 4 of water. That's 4 of cups, moon and Cancer with Medallion. Yeah. Like you're not going to be bothered by things that you don't want to be bothered by. It's like you cleaned up the drama around you. This definitely is a continuation of your reading. Absolutely. And then we have the moon in reverse. So Pisces, the moon in reverse. Yeah. Things have been made clear to you about what you want and you don't want in your life. How are you seeing this? All right. So things are clear to you now about what you want and what you don't want in your life. So much so that you now have learned and clean up your own, I just got messes, but your own area, your own, it's like you now know how to implement boundaries and keep what doesn't serve you out. That is really, really cool. This is definitely a continuation of what we talked about in your reading for September. I think that you, whatever that situation was, has, and I just got the beep, whatever that situation was, clicked in you. Look at this. This person is holding a red rose in this Four of Cups. And that's, for me, giving yourself love. This person did not wait for someone to offer them a rose. They're holding their own rose. They've given themselves their own rose. That's by you reaching that moment of comprehension, that moment, that aha moment, that goal of growth. You don't want what is being offered to you anymore. That's exactly what I'm getting. You now know and see what it is, exactly what you want with that moon in reverse. Everything is clear. You're not foggy about what it is you want. Everything is coming to the light for you. Everything is now clear in your mind. You're not walking the moon's path anymore. You've come out of it. And I believe I even talked about how there's that faith in the moon. Maybe it was your reading. There's faith in the moon card that the sun will come up the next morning and that the night will be over. And that's what this looks like. That medallion coming out of the darkness. You've reached the end of the moon phase into the sun with regard to something very specific and, again, cycle breaking. And that's amazing. Libra, that is freaking amazing. Well, that's what I see for you for the rest of the month. Enjoy the win. Enjoy the growth. Enjoy the epiphany that you get to say what happens in your life. You get to say how, what, where, and when you'll step up to the plate in your life. I feel very empowered. Like someone decided to be very empowered. Like that Miley Cyrus song. I can give myself flowers, I think, right? Or I can buy myself flowers. It's like this person bought their own flowers. They don't need someone to give them a cup. They bought their own water. They don't need a cup from someone else. Very empowered. Awesome. Congratulations. You are very deserving of this. So, till next month. Bye. Okay, Scorpio, you're up. The Nectar. I love this card. Have you taken something difficult and found a way to make it nectar? Or are you now reaping at the end of this month, September 2025, nectar from all your hard work? Discovery. It's a person looking through a telescope at the stars. And this is Mars. He's looking up at Mars. Yeah. Something that you did will bring you the nectar, will nourish you like nectar, or it will nourish you like nectar once you do something. Oh, the element of water. Keywords are idealism, intuition, compassion, and illusory. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Well, Scorpio, here you are. Have you discovered something that has the potential to be fab in your life? What discovery have you made, Scorpio? This is the timing. Is the timing upon you to act on a discovery that you've made? Let's see what else you have here. Oh, you have two more. 9 of Swords. That's Mars and Gemini. Okay. And 8 of Swords. Jupiter and Gemini. Okay. All right. And we have Mars. Okay. I think it's a pretty clear message. I am trying to figure out how to express it. So let's go on this little voyage together. I believe that you're going to hear or find out about something, or already potentially have found out about something when you're watching this video, that may not be the best news for someone. That maybe even is, I hate to say this because it's going to benefit you. A position, let's say, pops up at work because someone was downsized. An opportunity arises because someone else drops out. So I think there's mixed feelings, right, regarding the actual news. You don't want to be too joyful of something that someone else feels sad about potentially. But again, it's set up to be beneficial for you. It's nectar for you. You know, this is Mars in Gemini. Then we have Jupiter in Gemini. So and I'm not looking at it as the traditional 8 and 9 of Swords. I mean, I am for the 9 of Swords, which is the Mars in Gemini. I think that Mars is going to potentially create some kind of tower moment for someone else. And you're going to receive the abundance and luck, the Jupiter aspect of that same exact thing that happened to someone else. Now, this is the interesting part and the part that I would like to tell you. I think that this discovery is going to be fleeting. I think that you're going to run into a lot of doubts about whether you should capitalize on this opportunity for yourself. And I think you're going to feel bad. But I want to again say, I'm focusing on the illusory part. And I'm focusing on the fact that it will be a here today, gone tomorrow type situation. And someone potentially less deserving of this opportunity will come in and take it if you don't do it. I know nobody likes talking about these things. I am reading for you and you alone. I'm here to help you. And that's always my intention going into all these readings. So if I'm being given this by Spirit, it's because I'm supposed to be telling you all these things. I'm supposed to be conveying this message to you. I'm trying to do it as delicately as possible and respectfully as possible for another person's loss, potentially. But the message is clear to me that this is meant for you. It is nectar for you. You're not even being asked. It's not venom. It's not your venom that you are converting or transmuting into the nectar, like I originally thought. This is just a gift for you. And I think this is what's coming through this eclipse portal. I think that out of your hard work I originally alluded to, this opportunity is falling in your lap. It's being now made possible for you because of that. But I don't think that there's a lot of time around it for you to make up your mind or keep your distance for a respectable time type of thing. Yeah. This could apply to so many things that I don't want to really give a lot of descriptions. And I don't really want to give a lot of examples because I don't want to trigger anybody, because it could be, this could be a love situation. This could be, a job opportunity. This could be a financial opportunity. Or you can now afford something because of this opportunity, whereas before you weren't able to. I don't think at all you're taking advantage of anyone. I don't think this is a situation where you are the bad guy in any way, shape, or form. And I want to make that clear again. I would not get those messages. I wouldn't. This is a piece of luck, a gift, a boon that the universe is giving to you. But I do have to just again say, it will be here one day and gone the next if you don't move towards it. I do think it's kind of like the clover and the Lenormand. It's an opportunity. It's a serendipitous piece of luck, but it doesn't stay around forever. So, wow. I feel very confident in the message, and I hope that you do too. And again, I think that some of you may be aware of this right now when you're watching this video. And if you're not, it will come out of the blue and you're going to have that opportunity. Maybe I'll just throw one more example. It could be like the love of your life or a person that you have felt very called to be with. And all of a sudden they're now available. Yeah. Or you get an opportunity to break things off very amicably with someone, and you've been thinking about it for a while, but you just didn't know how to. So maybe the steps have kind of been paved for you to be able to do it. Again, I don't really hear these type of readings or these type of messages being given often. But I do know it's something for you. So don't feel bad for being grateful for something that the universe is setting up for you. And I hope it works out. I hope it's just as beautiful and just as sweet as it possibly can be, because I do feel like it's like getting a winning ticket. It's like buying a scratch off for $1 and winning a pretty chunky lump sum type of thing. I would love to hear if you guys want to talk about it. But if not, just know this is a gift for you. So don't feel bad. I wouldn't want you to lose out on an opportunity if it arises. All right, my loves. Till next month. We'll see you then, Scorpio. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius, you're up. Let's see what your cards have to say. The Sustainer. Now, I just got this card. You're the one that's holding things together, and that's a wonderful thing. But you can get caught up in its detriment of holding things together that you shouldn't. Sustaining things that don't serve you. All according to plan. I like that. Hopefully that's where we're being led. Answers. Eloquence, divine communication, truth and flow of wisdom, networking, communication, power of words. What else do we have here? Seven of Earth, Saturn in Taurus, and that's under the Sustainer. Look at in this. If you look here closely, in the Sustainer card, you have two hands molding a clay ball. And then you have in this card, two hands that are dirty, it looks like with like clay or dirt. So this is you building and sustaining, again, what you've molded. You're at a look back point. That's what it is. You're at a look back point. And you need to see if everything's going according to plan. The Seven of Pentacles or the Seven of Earth is not just only being patient while your harvest comes in and that it's a sure thing. It's about being a look back point where you get to see for yourself if the growth is where it should be. If what you planted is producing at the speed at which it should be. And at that point, you either are happily surprised or happily informed that things are going well and that you're going to reap those benefits, or you have to have the tough conversations about, do we do something else? Do we keep waiting? Do we give it a little bit more time? Should we plant different seeds? Do we scrap what we're doing? Yeah. Okay, Sagittarius. I know that you guys have been rebuilding. You've been breaking down relationships in your environment and rebuilding them. The Three of Fire, which is Sun in Aries, and the Two of Fire, Mars in Aries. Okay, yeah. So it is. I just said about rebuilding. Okay. It's you making sure your harvest is going to come in, which is fantastic. So you got your hands dirty. You are getting your hands dirty. You're just not leaving it up to chance anymore. That's what it is. So with the all according to plan and the Three of Wands, so for you to move forward, to be able to reap that harvest, to be able to go and collect all the benefits from all your hard work and everything that you've sustained and all your sacrifice that you've put into whatever this is, you now realize that you need to talk and make sure that everyone's on the same page moving forward. It's knowing that for you to move forward with the Three of Wands, you need to revisit your game plan with the Two of Wands with those involved in this project, or those involved in your family, or anyone who's involved, whatever it is that you've been sustaining, that you had to break down and rebuild, because I know that's been in your readings, I think for like almost 2 months. You are now having a look back moment probably through these eclipse, probably because of this eclipse season, and you are now realizing that for everything to work out the way that you want it to work out, you need to make sure that no one's deviating from your plan or the plan that you all chose. Because if they do deviate from the goals set out forth originally, things won't go according to your plan. This is not only you doing the look back on the situation, this is you taking a look back on the people involved. This is you just double checking, triple checking that everyone is still on the same page and that everyone's doing their job and their duties, or just doing what they said they were going to do. I think that you're going to want to make sure there are no surprises in whatever it is that you've put forth this month. But I have to say, it's coming out of that fear if you're sustaining something that you shouldn't. It was my first and initial reaction to this card. Maybe you're not 100% pleased with the mid-month report, with the progress report regarding what's going on in your life. But you're not ready to throw in the towel just yet, so you sit everyone down and say, hey, let's regroup and go over our plan again and what everybody is responsible for. Because I'm not very happy with what I've seen so far. Or if we continue doing A, B, or C, we're not going to reach our goal. Or if we fall back to how things were done before, we're not going to move forward and grow how we want to grow. Yeah. I think this is a work month for you. I think you're going to continue working on these relationships that came out in your previous reading. And now it's about follow through. I also feel like it's you holding people's feet, because you're the sustainer. You're holding other people's feet to the fire. So you are responsible to make sure that people are doing what they need to do. I don't envy you that position, but I think that you're going to buckle down and do it, and because someone has to do the hard work. And I think it's you, Sagittarius. I really do. But the wonderful thing, though, and that is true about the 7, is that if you can push through this, right, with the right work in place, right work ethic in place, the right variables in place, you're definitely going to have that gorgeous harvest that you want. You're almost at the 8 where things are going to run smoothly like a well-oiled machine. But not right now. This is where your hands are still getting dirty. And every day you're closer to that success, to that successful harvest. So I can't wait for that day. But remember, every day that you're putting in the work is a day of growth. So be proud of yourself every single day. Because if you take a moment and be present, you will see those nuanced changes every day. And that's really, really, really exciting. All right, Sagittarius, till next month. Bye. Okay, Capricorn, you're up. We are almost halfway. What do we have here? The Vessel. Your body. Are you taking care of your body? Desire. And there's a heart. Ooh. your heart's desire. I still think your body. AWAS. Yeah, I was getting body. This could be becoming healthier with your body, with your heart. Maybe someone is doing this for their own health, but transformation and growth, endurance and longevity. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's good though. That's wonderful. Endurance, longevity, ending and a new beginning, the cyclical nature of existence, enlightenment, personal reflection and perspective, self-actualization. Yeah, I think this is, before we even see the rest of the cards, I think this is you sculpting your body, you going on a health kick, you deciding or taking up an interest in being the best you can be, realizing that we have this one body, I'm going to take care of it type of thing. Realizing that it's a great source of satisfaction when you can transform your body and take control of your own health. Yeah. And one step further, I'm getting this big time. It also provides you a sense of control when your life can potentially be out of control in certain areas, or when you don't necessarily feel like you're in control of everything in your environment. And it can be very healthy. Of course, an extreme of everything is not, but it can be a very healthy outlet for that type of stress. Cool. I don't know if I showed it to you. AWAS. Then we have the 5 of Fire. That's Saturn in Leo. And that's the 5 of Wands. Yeah, it's the competition. Absolutely. And the 2 of Water, Venus in Cancer. You could be joining a gym. You can be joining a sport. If you're an adult, you can be joining an adult sports team. You can, but the joining the gym is like, boom. Joining a diet plan, joining a runner's group. But there's some joining. Absolutely. And something that you love. And this could be, I know that we discussed, oh yeah. We discussed in your reading for this month about you grounding yourself and you setting roots and growing roots in your environment, in your home, in your society, in your city, in your town, so that you could feel embodied. Because that's actually been really big in all the readings that I've been doing lately, especially the collective readings I've been putting up on my channel recently. It's about becoming embodied and present in your life here in the 3D, in the physical world. And I think that someone has decided to make and prioritize their health and their body. Maybe even what you consume. So this could even be you changing your diet quite radically from what you've been doing. Or it could be simple things. Abstaining from alcohol during the week. Not eating as much of something that you absolutely love, but you know it's not the best for you. It's like, again, it's about taking control. And this is a very healthy way, in my opinion, Capricorn, of you having that control back without it being detrimental to other areas of your life. Yeah. So that's what I see for you, Capricorn. I feel like this was a very, very nice, I feel like this was Spirit telling me, hey, this is what they're doing with what the reading was for the beginning of the month. This is truly a wonderful consequence of the first reading. Yeah. Well, I wish you all the best. I wish you a lot of luck. I know that once you put your mind to something, you will achieve it. Yeah, absolutely. I think that you're going to be very successful, and just, again, everything in measured ways. No extremes. No extremes. But I think that you're going to be really happy with this, and you're going to feel very embodied, and you're going to feel very grounded, and it's going to make you feel so much better. And that's also going to reflect in other areas of your life. And it's also going to be such a stress reliever for you. All right, Capricorn, that's what I see for you until the end of the month, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, Aquarius, you're up. Let's see what we have for you. The Bridge. Oh, interpersonal. That's what I'm getting. Are you learning to bridge differences? It looks like the Rainbow Bridge, right? It's like you giving love, emotions, but being confident and grounded, secure and not secure. That's what I'm getting. I've never have gotten that from this card. And I love this deck. I have like 3 copies. So, I don't know if I showed it to you. Sorry. Bittersweet chocolate, 80% cocoa. Or it's you finding ways to cope with things that are not as palatable. I know that there are people out there that love dark chocolate. I do. I'm not one of them. But that's what I'm getting. You know, that's the way the universe is speaking through me right now. So again, like I said, right? Giving love or giving, it's like figuring out how to be kind and be grounded and but confident and assertive. But then you get the bittersweet card next to it and you're like, oh, it's not the easiest thing to do when this is what you're being given. This is what you're forced to eat. Right? It's like learning how to be diplomatic, which that's what you are, Aquarius. Maybe it's the give and take of being diplomatic in times when it's not so easy anymore. Yes. Element of Earth. Major keyword is mastery. Words are, then keywords are grounded, manifestation, duty bound, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Yeah, I think that's you just taking a page from the earth signs. You know, one foot in front of the other, getting through uncomfortable conversations or dealing with difficult people in a grounded, measured way. You know, earth signs are master manifestors. They are the master manifestors. So it would behoove you to do that, I think. Because if you feel like you're going to be swayed from being the king of air, the king of swords, and lash out and not be able to handle all the stress, grounding yourself is the best way to help you right now, I think. You definitely don't want the anger from the fire. You don't want the emotions from the water. Let's ground you and help you move forward. Oh my God. I almost said, I was literally going to say, or I don't know if I did, I'll know when I'm editing this, if I said the reverse King of Swords, I was going to say also the reverse Queen of Swords with lashing out. And that's exactly who came up. Yeah. I think this is where you're at a breaking point. Scorpio with the death card. Oh my goodness. Aquarius. I think that you're going to be getting through, quote unquote, the remainder of the month. And you're going to do it well, because this is also saying there's an ending to this, and that you're going to then be transformed. You're going to have your rebirth. You're going to have transcendence from this situation. And this is also right underneath the bittersweet card, meaning things are going to turn sweet. So please just hold on. You're almost there. You absolutely are. And I don't even know what your last card is. The Seven of Air, Moon in Aquarius. And I was going to say, with your moon, that's your subconscious. And if that is, and the moon is the water that I was talking about. And we don't want that water mixing in with all that air, with all those swords, because then what's coming out is going to be, it's not going to be nice. You may take shortcuts, right? So this is under the earth. You know, you don't want to be taking shortcuts, taking your frustrations out on people instead of grounding them. You don't want to end up deceiving anyone, or walking in the shadows when you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't need to be living in your head with all those daggers. I don't want it to take you to a dark place when you can ground. How do we ground? Let's, start looking at things that you enjoy doing. Become embodied and work out, walk outside, meditate. Do things that you love. Do things that help you escape your thoughts and the machinations, because that's what you live with, right? Your intellect is potentially an overload, and it's time for you to pull from that, not feed into that. I am going to clarify for you. We have the Five of Pentacles with the Bridge and the Queen of Air. Yeah, I think you're going to be on the outs if you let your true thoughts come out. I think I'm speaking to an Aquarius that's having difficulty in keeping their composure. That's what it is. And I think that you may even find yourself thinking like the world has gone mad while you're the only rational one, type of thing, with this Five of Tangibles, which is Five of Pentacles. You're like on the outside looking in to to everybody who you don't identify with at all anymore. This bridge is here. It's possible. You just have to continue being diplomatic, taking the higher road, and I keep going back to grounding. The biggest cure for a racing mind, especially for an air sign, is to put your thoughts towards something else. Exhaust yourself in something else so that you're not plagued with overthinking. Let's see this bittersweet with Scorpio. The Four of Emotions. Apathy, apathy, apathy. Oh, there's two. Hold on. And the Teen of Emotions. That's the... Oh my God. All right, guys. So Then we have the Teen of Emotions, which is the Page of Cups. It says overthinking is overrated. That is hilarious. Thank you so much, Spirit. This, yeah. I mean, guys, we definitely need the death for these two in this. You're going to stop. By the end of the month, you're looking at a death, an ending, a cessation to this overthinking, a cessation to this apathy that you're experiencing. And that means you're going to get something nice. You're going to get something that you've been wanting to receive, a manifestation, a win, something that's going to break you out of the monotony of what's going on in your life right now. And for the last duo here, what are we looking at? For the element of earth and the 7 of air, 2 of tangibles. That's the 2 of pentacles. For you not to fall in what I would consider the detriment of Aquarius, which is this moon in Aquarius, I would say the 7 of swords, even with that green eye, which is the green eye of jealousy, it's about living presently, moment to moment, and juggling what comes at you, not focusing on the past nor the future, because the more present you are, and that's why I brought up meditation, the more present you are, the less time you have worrying about the what ifs and the should have, could have, would have's. Being present pulls you out of that, and then it's like just taking on everything that comes at you in the moment. Don't put off anything. Ground yourself in this. Plant yourself into your life, into your world, and get through this, right? What did I say about plowing through this like a Taurus? It's about don't give up. Do not fall prey to frustrations, and you can continue scaling. Like right now, the Capricorn, you can continue scaling that mountain because you're going to reach that food, that sustenance that you need. And if I'm going to bring in the Virgo in here, we're in Virgo season, number 1. Number 2, Virgo's work ethic and management of life is unparalleled. So definitely tap into the earth signs, tap into their qualities that at this moment will truly benefit you right now. But I think this is very true. Overthinking is overrated. That's hilarious. And we need to get you out of that. So I think that you have a little bit more of the same, meaning it's going to be work. You're going to get through it but with these maybe tweaks in your behavior or tweaks in what you're doing to help release the stress and blow off some steam. I think those tweaks are going to help you get over the hump and achieve and succeed how you normally do at the end of the day. All right, Aquarius, good luck. Really, lots of luck, lots of love, lots of patience. All right, till next month. Bye. All right, Pisces, you're up. Let's see what your cards have to tell us. All right. The 1. Understanding your place in this world, that you are all and all is you. That you're not lost. Conflict with boxing gloves. The blockages that you are experiencing and realizing that you are one with the blockages that you are experiencing, that you have more control over them than you think. Call upon shark spirit. Master of survival, power and authority. Harmony between self and the environment. Yes, which is what we were talking about. Successful outcome. That's fantastic. Okay. What else do we have here? Ace of Air, which is the Ace of Swords, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This is the clarity and epiphany that you're receiving. And Saturn, the World. It's the World card. I know Saturn's in retrograde or going in retrograde. That may alleviate some of its presence and hold and keeping things from progressing. It's like you've been in stasis in this conflict. But some information or clarity or an epiphany is going to appear, and it will end that stasis. It will open up the dam for that water, that peace, that love to flow through again. Allow that shark to move freely again. Be it successful archetype that it is. Be in flow again. But with more power, more certainty of itself. It's like restoring the confidence to a shark after it's been captive. Finding that harmony again between you and your environment, which I believe is the conflict. It could be that you're involved in a conflict, or it could be that you feel that you have been blocked at every recourse. But definitely with Saturn here, I think you're going to be released. I think your blockages will be able to be released or evolve. I feel like what I keep feeling is that you've been held back. There was a dam around you, and you've been just drowning in your own sorrows or your own blockages. That's all. I'm going to clarify this and see if I can tease out a little bit more. All right. Eight of Tangibles. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. But is anything really perfect? Eight of Tangibles. That's the Eight of Pentacles. And it's a spider. It's like realizing that nothing is perfect. No matter how good you are at something, no matter how much you've achieved, or you could provide so well for others, because this is the Pentacle suit. You're a master at building in this material world in the 3D. But that even with that expertise of providing, of nurturing, I'm thinking of the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, no matter how expert you become at doing these things and how much you provide and nurture others and manifest and have achieved, right? Again, in your life, it will never be perfect. And there is an acceptance of that. It doesn't mean that everything will be perfect because you're really good at what you do or have created something magnificent. It doesn't mean that everyone else will see it as perfect either. The Nine of Passions, and that's the wounded warrior. It's the Nine of Wands. They're in bed underneath the covers. How do you see it as this way? And it's like, hey, you still have to get out of bed. Even if things aren't perfect, even if, you did your best, you are the best that you can be, but you can't stay in bed underneath those covers anymore because the World card is here. And there's an ending to some blockage around you. And now you're being asked to step forward again, to start weaving again. Even if things weren't so successful the first time, who knows, the next time may even be better. Or it's just accepting that, right? That we are all one. And that there may be a bigger power at play here, not just you. And that you can't control everything. You can only do your part in this entire oneness. This is very philosophical. Then we're looking at Teen of Passions. And that is the Page of Wands. And just like I said, it's time to get out of bed and start living again. Start finding ways to find happiness and excitement in your life. Find new ways of creation, new ways to express yourself in this world, new ways to create what it is that you want to create. If the first round didn't work out the way you necessarily wanted, doesn't mean that it won't in some other way. Or it's just accepting that things weren't perfect, no matter how much you wanted it to be so. No matter how much you worked for it. You did your best. And that's okay. But there's a greater plan in place. And now it's asking you to wake up, crawl out from those covers, take that match that's being given to you, and start finding a way to live the rest of your life. And I'm going to say with a newfound freedom, because what did I say about being relieved, being set free again, this shark being set free again? It's a newfound freedom without this conflict, this constant battle that you've been dealing with. And with the Ace of Swords here, it's that you know this is true. What I'm saying is not a surprise to you. It's about finding the courage to start living again. It's finding the courage to start living again. I don't know in what specifics it is for everyone out there. I know that the Piscean collective has been up and down and has gone through so many difficulties. But I know that this is a call to action and a new lease on life. So if you're breaking cycles and you just shattered a huge one, this is saying, hey, I know it was monumental of what you just went through. But guess what? You get to start over again. You get to now integrate those lessons and start living again in a newly formed version of yourself who's ready for more spiritually. That's what I see for you, Pisces. It is quite beautiful, but it does feel like it's been a long journey for you to get here. You're amazing, and I hope that you realize how amazing you are. So I cannot wait to see where this new beginning, these lessons are taking you in the future. So till next month, we'll see you then. Bye. All right, Aries, you're up. Let's see what the cards have for you. We're almost at the end of the wheel. The underworld, huh? Are you walking through realms, Aries? Have you been through the fire and back? loneliness. I was going to say, have you looked into a shamanic path? Have you been in a hermit mode? The Wheel of Fortune, my loves. What I'm seeing is this. With loneliness, you have the spotlight on that one person. And then there's the underworld here. But when that spotlight was on you, and just you, and you felt alone, is that when you realized everything that was around you? Is this shadow work? It's a lonely path to do shadow work. And you're having success with that. Is that the Wheel of Fortune, where you're breaking attachments and healing inner child wounds? It's like worms and things. It's like you decided to venture on your own and do the dirty work. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, and I just saw the Justice card after that. Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter. I grow. Ruler of expansion. Lucky turn, karma. Turning point, growth. Unexpected events, destiny at play. Fixed signs signifying the constancy of change in our lives. Libra, justice with the underworld. This is shadow work. This is shadow work. You guys have gone deep. And the fact that he's standing on that blue, it's like you went deep into your emotions. You definitely went deep. You swam in the deep, dark ocean. The ocean card in this deck could be comprised up of your tears. Three of Earth, which is Mars and Capricorn, with loneliness. You are now coming out of this isolation in search of teamwork for growth, in search of those that will help you ascend. That Mars and Capricorn, now I'm looking at this as Mars and Capricorn. Mars is your ruler, Aries. Now I'm looking at it as Aries and Capricorn. It's like you've clawed your way up, scaling a mountain, scaling shadows, scaling old wounds, inner child wounds, attachments, right? Capricorn's Devil card. Three of Swords, Three of Air. Saturn and Libra. And Libra, it's the balancing. And this is with the Wheel of Fortune. All right, hold on. So this is either two camps. This is an Aries who has tackled shadow work. They have dug deep, not just scratched the surface. They dug deep into wounds. And they've done the work with the Three of Pentacles. And that work is what's paying off in your favor with the Wheel of Fortune now. This is the healing of that Three of Swords. It's the healing of those wounds. It's that no longer sealing your fate to those attachments, to those blockages, to those cords that just held you down in place. Or this is an Aries that has been doing the work. When I say doing the work, I mean most likely in therapy, working with someone to help them ascend and overcome and process their wounds, willingly going down the road of introspection and your healing is now at play. That's what I'm getting. And an Aries collective that has learned to balance the delicate nature of healing. Because look at this heart. It's broken in pieces. Whereas in the past, you may have wanted to just shatter this heart into a million pieces or obliterate the past instead of dealing with it and just move forward with it because you didn't want this to define you any longer. But I am tapping into a collective that has actually decided to do the work and painstakingly put this heart together instead of leaving it for dead. Right? It's like going into the underworld and reviving this heart and knowing that it still has more life in it instead of replacing it with something else. This is really cool, Aries. Really, really cool. I'm going to just do a couple clarifiers here. The sun with the underworld in Libra, absolutely. What is done in the dark always comes to light. It's like you knowingly went into the light from the darkness yourself. You purposely did this. You chose to air out all the parts of you that were in the dark, to tackle them head on. It's like you channeled your instincts of doing, but you turned them on yourself and you decided to tackle healing you instead of outwardly. So no matter how you got there, if you did this alone or you did this with someone else, you need to be commended for the amount of hard work that you've done, that you've accomplished, or you will accomplish by the end of this month. This is fabulous. Aries, this may be the eclipse season having a profound change on you. It's like as though someone rebooted you. The eclipse rebooted you. And you're going to walk out a balanced, healed version of yourself. And that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So Aries, congratulations. Be present and enjoy the growth and what's to come in these next couple weeks. And I cannot wait to see you next month. All right. Bye. All right, Taurus, you're next. You got a lot of cards. You're one of the couple groups that got a lot of cards. Let's see what we have for you, Taurus. Apocalypses. Of course you do. Taurus. What endings, and new beginnings are at play here, my loves? What's this eclipse bringing you? Wilderness. And it looks like, and it's all these trees. They look like they're swaying. They're all blue, and then there's the red sun. Like we're looking at the, I was going to say like all these cups because it's blue, and I thought of water. And I didn't think of the throat chakra. And then with the red, I thought about the root chakra and about you being grounded. It's like you're grounding your emotions, or you've learned to ground your emotions, or you have figured out how to be able to sway, ebb and flow in your emotions with the help of the sun, with the clarity and truth. It has a grounding effect on you. Are you a Taurus that is well grounded, so much so that you've been able to bring yourself back or push through an emotional overload? You could also be experiencing a rewilding because it's wilderness. And then I think of Artemis, Virgo seasoning. Virgo season. Is this a shattering of your constrained and restrained self into a more authentic, wild version of you, authentic version of you, of who you truly are? And you are joyously swaying. My phone just may be onto something. Nadis, oh my goodness. I just said constrained. Oh my gosh, guys. Constraints and delays, overcoming limitations, endurance, survival, growth through adversity, saving for a rainy day, needs and necessities. Absolutely. That's what it is. It's your patience through the necessities that have allowed, that adversity has allowed you to finally break free. The apocalypse came and broke free, and you survived. Different, but survived nonetheless. And I dare say in a more healed, in a more authentic, more vibrant way. Okay. We have the Seven of Fire, which is the Seven of Wands. That's Mars and Leo with apocalypse. This is what happened. You survived. You came out on top of this apocalypse. So whatever that is in your life, Nadis is made of Isa, which is ice, a standstill too. That frozen lake, the ice has melted finally, and you are now allowed to pass or swim downriver or drink from the waters of love and life. Something like that. I know that in your previous readings we have touched upon your manifestations not coming in because they were not ready yet. And there was concern about that because it was time, but it wasn't. Right? It was time, but it wasn't. Now that Saturn is going in retrograde, there's an easement of limitations now. And finally, that ice melts and brings you your manifestations, brings you the sustenance that you so dearly want, need, and have worked for. The trout come up higher to the surface to be gotten. You have defended yourself and emerged victorious from this Mars and Leo. Fire, fire. Like the phoenix from the ashes. Knight of Earth, earth, air. It's this beautiful horse with antlers on him or her. You have never stopped. You kept going in spite of all the hardships. You just kept going because you knew and believed in your manifestations. It's very impressive. Even through this wilderness, you kept going. But I just want to say, all I saw was the trees celebrating you. I don't know what it is about those trees. They're like joyous. And that's amazing. It's like Judgment Day and everyone's cheering you on. And they see you being resurrected to your rightful place. That's amazing. Nine of Fire, that's Moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, that's the Nine of Wands. This is what these are the constraints. This is the wounded warrior. This is you coming home wounded but not beaten. Victorious. You just kept going. This is like a marathon runner. You just kept running that marathon. Knight of Pentacles. And you made it through. Taurus, this is so beautiful. And this is so poignant. Five of Air, Venus and Aquarius. That's Five of Swords. And if you look at this card, there's the last piece standing. And that's you. That's you. That's you against all odds. With everybody out for themselves and everybody potentially even trying to sabotage you. And then on top of that, potentially your own self-sabotage creeping up here and there. It's like you still kept everything at bay. You kept everything at bay. You managed your thoughts. You managed your self-talk. You managed it all. I mean, this is just one card after another saying the same thing. Let's see what your last card is. Eight of Earth, Sun in Virgo. Absolutely. This is you at your peak expertise and validation of all the hard work that you've put in. There's no question. And we're in Virgo season. We're finishing up Virgo season. You were hard at work. Look at that wrench in her mouth. This is you. I can actually see you. This is you. You're like, yep. I didn't have to call a plumber or anybody else. I just did it myself. I just got to work, figured it out on my own, and just did. Wow, just did. This is going to be you coming out victorious in the month of September, hun. This is one of the most positive, affirming readings of today. And this apocalypsis is like the Tower card. So you guys have had, I mean, and then what did I say about Nodis is made up of Vanessa, which is the ice rune. It's like the Tower card hit that tower and it went down in a good way. A tower for your benefit, but truly for your benefit. A relief and release of all the ice that was frozen around you that was not allowing you in or out or to be able to do anything. It's like, but you will understand and know that you have not been beaten by the end of this. And I think that's going to fill you up. It's going to make you feel good about who you are and what you've achieved. This is beautiful. This is a Taurus truly in their power. So congratulations. And I cannot wait to see what happens in October. Till next time. Bye. All right, Gemini, you're up. We have 3 to go. Let's see what the universe has for you for the end of this month. The Shapeshifter. New you. I know that you had a lot of growth. All your readings lately have been about you growing and coming out of your comfort zone. Yeah. A new version of you. The worst is over. That's exactly what I just got. Oh my gosh. The Fool card, guys. New you. Wow. All right. That's amazing. Gemini, ruled by Uranus, I evolve, bringer of disruptive change. Leap of faith, new beginning, self-discovery, childlike innocence, underestimated or undervalued. Oh, hun, I definitely think this is a new beginning. The worst is over. I like self-discovery. I think you may have realized and discovered how strong you are and how capable you are, because that's been a thing. It's like seeing yourself in a different way, trying new things only to discover that you like them. Feeding that fire within you that wants to learn more, explore more, do more, and not falling prey to the fears that you may have had before, or the anxieties that kept you from doing new things. Yeah, this is definitely a nice continuation to the reading that we had. Page of Fire, Fire and Earth. Look at their hands getting dirty. This reminds me of, I think it was June or July's reading about getting your hands dirty and something that you never would have done before. And you may have like pawned off those dirty jobs or was so out of your comfort zone, you really just couldn't bring yourself to do them. And I see that you got your hands dirty. And I know it feels good, especially that fire in your heart's there. Your heart's alight with passion and fuel. And you're like, yeah, I can feel it. I can feel what it feels like to do a really long, hard day's work. And you're all grimy and exhausted, but it feels so good. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like you see all the work you've done in front of you and you're just like, it was so worth it. That's what I'm getting for you guys. And the last one is the Six of Earth, Moon in Taurus. Oh my gosh. Exactly. You didn't wait. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. You're not waiting and did not wait for someone else to do the work for you. You did it on your own. You didn't wait for some person to come and take pity on you and do it for you with the Six of Pentacles. You're like, nope, I got it. Thank you. You weren't waiting for someone else's benevolence to do it. It was your own benevolence towards yourself. You're like, no, this is a learning lesson. This is growth for me. And I want it. I want growth. So however this applies to you, Gemini, congratulations. This is not given to you. You did not just receive this. You worked towards this. And I know because I've been doing your readings for the past few months. This is amazing. I'm just going to do one clarifier just to see if it gives us anything. But congratulations. This was a sweet, simple, wonderful validation of who you are. This is the, hold on, the Oracle, well, which is the High Priestess. The wording is very small, so bear with me. We don't have all the answers. We can't know the future. Or what if that was just a self-fulfilling prophecy? What if we just aren't listening closely enough? Due to their large paralimbic systems. There's some dolphins there. Hello, who's there? The call is coming from inside the house. That's hilarious. The moon pulls the tides. These are very busy cards, but an excellent reader. Yeah, I think that you dug deep. But I also think this is where you're coming from. You've been pulled out of your comfort zone. Like an introverted High Priestess, you've been pulled out. You've been pulled out into the mix of things where you've had to speak your mind, show who you were, show up when you didn't want to. Again, things that brought you out of your comfort zone. And I think that you're better for it, and I think that you see that yourself. And I think that you intuitively knew that you had to. It was about time for you to break your own silence, break your own introspection, break your own vows of silence. And I know we've touched upon that too before. I'm going to grab one more. 9 of thoughts. Mind your head, danger, high voltage. Yeah. You broke out of this. 9 of thoughts are the 9 of swords. You broke out of your own anxieties, fears of being seen, fears of being exposed, fears of taking up space in the world. Absolutely. This is only confirmation and corroboration for the readings that we've had before. Again, Gemini, you're amazing. You are absolutely amazing. You are one of the biggest cycle breaking collectives that I've read for. And it's so nice to see this. It's so nice to see you experience more than you have. Especially speaking and showcasing who you are confidently. Because that is in your nature. And I think that for some of this collective, that's something that was being held back from you. Either from yourself or from previous wounds that you've had in your life. And I hope that you are now seeing how adept you really are when it comes to being part of the collective at large, and how well received you're going to be, because you have a voice that is going to be very effective when used properly. So I'm so proud of you. Go get them. Go be the marvelous Gemini that you absolutely are. So wonderful. Congratulations once again. I cannot wait to see what October has in store for you. Till then, bye. All right, Cancer, you're up next. Let's see what we have for you, sweethearts. The desert. Are you reaching the end? Are you finding your oasis, and are you reaching the end of being in the desert? I know that we've had a lot of ups and downs emotionally in our previous readings, Cancer, and you coming back and mastering your element once again. Did we overcorrect? Because I feel like, are you so dried out now that you've been weary of becoming too emotional or emotionally invested in something because you're afraid of balancing those emotions again? Or have you been, because all I see is dry and heat, red, root chakra, being grounded, earth. Or are you going to slowly start incorporating, like I said, are you finding your oasis? Are you going to slowly start incorporating the water back into your life, but at measured rates? Something like that. All right, what else do we have? Hidden agenda. Yeah, maybe okay, because I know that a lot of readings also potentially centered around love. And what did I say? Are you slowly dipping your toe back into the dating world, falling in love, because you're worried about being hurt again? And all I see is all this red around this person, which is giving me passion for this person. And all this red up here, it's like you're reaching towards that passion. But you're worried that this person has hidden intentions regarding you, and you don't want to be hurt by this person like you have been in the past. But you seem like you're reaching out to him. If you look, there's orange and yellow around the moon, and there's orange pants. We're looking at the sacral chakra. Passion. passion. Judgment card. All right. Maybe judging this person too harshly or based off your own past history that's nothing to do with this person. I think we're talking about love or desire to be with someone. Or just putting yourself out there, like I said originally, putting yourself out there in love again. And you've kept your emotions at bay and are like, nope, you're not going to betray me this time like they have in the past. And then now I'm looking, all I'm seeing are colors here. This person's blue, throat chakra, blue in this card, throat chakra. Are you speaking harshly to this person, or are the words and the communication harsher than they have to be? So I'm not picking up emotions in water. I'm picking up throat chakra. Or are you judging the words that are coming out of this person and thinking there's a hidden agenda here and they're not true? Three of water. Well, here's the water, Mercury and Cancer. Hun, this is what you're being told. This is your desire. Your desire to have the unity, to celebrate in communion with this person. And you're finally reaching out to it. Or do you have those who are giving you way too many opinions and you're taking them too much to heart? Cancer, what are we doing here? I don't know. Judgment again. You're going to realize this person is worthy. I think you're going to realize this person is worthy. I do. I think that you are being called and they're being called to meet one another. I'm going to read you some of the judgment on my deck. Ruled by Pluto, I am power, the great revealer. And I do think this is going to be a great revelation for you. And also that it's time. You're ready. You're ready to put yourself out there again. Divine order at play. Spiritual upleveling. Promotion, raise, or reward for a job well done. Discernment. Karma and consequences. Resurrection. Reconciliation. Facing oneself truthfully. Repentance, forgiveness. New beginning, moving on. And that's what I think that will be happening here. There is a union here with this person. 2 judgments. We're at the end of this. By the end of this month, you may have a relationship flourishing. Oh my gosh. The 4 of Wands. Fire. 4 of fire. Venus and Aries. Absolutely. I'm really happy that we are in sync. That's exactly what I was getting. I think the judgment is that, look at the way that he is holding his hand up in victory. And you're going to feel this way regarding your own 4 of Wands. Those that you surround yourself with, those in your home, those that you want to make a home with, those that are the pillars in your life. And this person will be one of them. Wow. Oh my gosh. Mars, the Tower. Guys, the Chariot, Cancer. Here you are. And I was going to latch on what I wrote here about being empowered with Judgment card. And here you are being empowered and in your own power, in your own reading. I think that you are going to have a breakthrough, and you're going to realize that you can trust yourself again. You can trust your emotions again, your emotional intelligence again. And you can trust your intuition again. You can trust your connection to the divine, to the universe, to spirit source, however it is that you look at it. The tower is revealing you. And I'm going to say, what does the Cancer have? What does the crab have? It's that exoskeleton. And this tower is going to break that exoskeleton around your heart, around you, that has been built up due to past disappointments, past hurts. And you're going to open up to love once again. You're going to come out of that desert. You're going to squelch that thirst that you have to love and be loved and be wanted. This is very clear, and I'm honored that this message came out the way it did. There is a lot of celebration for you that's coming. So enjoy it. Enjoy it to the fullest, because this is truly you transcending past hurts. This is you integrating and releasing their hold on you anymore. Cancer, you always astound me. Your readings always, always, always astound me. They're really beautiful, and I'm sure as you are. Go. Start living your life to its fullest again. It's not easy. I know that. And there's always grief attached to past hurts. I know that. But I think it's clear. I mean, look at your majors. Two Judgment cards. The Tower, Chariot, and that's out of six tarot, 4 are majors. It is a clear message from divinity. How I don't know why I keep saying it that way. Maybe that's how you identify source or the universe as, and if that's the case, maybe that's why I keep saying it that way, because I normally don't. But that is the word that is coming to me. There is divine action at play here, and I think that you will clearly see it in the cards and in this reading. So I wish you all the best. Enjoy it. You are so deserving of it. Be present. Enjoy every second of it. So I cannot wait to see your reading for October. I wonder how different it's going to be from the ones we've had in the past. All right, guys. Till next time. Bye. All right, Leo, last but not least, let's see what cards we have for you. What's your reading for the end of the month? All right. The Unseen. Are you being touched by the angels? Are you feeling the presence of the other? Are you seeing the presence of the other? Is this eclipse seasoning? Is this eclipse season unveiling truths never seen before to you? Are you getting the clarity of the Sun card? That's what I just got. Reversal. Clarity of something that you believed in is no longer what you thought, or how things, or the way things have been done are no more. Wow. It's like you're getting an epiphany. What did I say? The great revealer? The great truth? I need to get another one of these. I see how they should be laid out, and I feel like I need another one here. You're the only one I've done this for. The venom, yeah. Okay. The mirror. Holy moly, guys. You were last for a reason. You may have seen such an ugly truth or have something so poisonous that, and I love this deck, period, but the venom and the nectar go hand in hand. The nectar came out in someone's reading in the beginning. It's learning to take that venom and creating nectar. It's alchemizing it. It's the myth of taking the venom and holding it and creating nectar so it's palatable. And that's what you've done. But it's something that affects you and it's part of who you are. It's the great revealer. Something about you, your life, has been revealed to you. Unless you're doing extreme shadow work. But I feel this is big. This is beautiful and it's big. This is a reversal on something you believed in, something that you stood by. Maybe even adamantly. Like, this is how things are. This is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is what I believe to be true. Or I agree with these things. I agree with these thoughts. I agree with so-and-so. And then all of a sudden, you just have a complete 180 and you're like, you have to swallow the ugly truth, the venom. But what's going to happen doesn't stop here, hun. What's going to happen is that you're going to take that venom and you're going to create the nectar. But this is the first step in that process. And that is the great revealer. You're going to have a great reveal of something. What's underneath here? The Queen. I just got Queen and Country. Something that you believe in because you've been told to, you've been raised to, you've ascribed to. Gnosis. But you now know the truth, and the truth is not what you've been led to believe. Again, the great revealer. It's knowing the truth of all. And once you're awakened to the truth, you can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. Oh, guys, this is crazy. Crazy good, but it's crazy. It's crazy good for me. It's crazy good for you too. I'm gonna stop right there because I'm getting myself in a hole. Urus, you've gone through the gateway. Oh my God, this is the portal. This is the eclipse. Just like I said, this is the eclipse. Okay. Well, I now know who's having the huge transformation, the biggest transformation. This is the portal. This is the gateway. This is Urus. This is also your strength and willpower to keep going. And this is you. Wow, this is you going through the portal. This could have been revealed to you. I have a couple good videos on the portal and really just questioning what a portal is. I talk at length about how it's a two-way street. It's also, what are you meeting on the other side of that portal? And I think that you are classically what I was discussing. You have met yourself. You have met the great revealer between these two portals. you are going to be illuminated. Illuminated is insignificant to how big this is going to be for you. And I think it could be either spiritually or an embodied truth here in the 3D that will change who you are and potentially trigger an awakening or ascension or activation on your ascension path. Yeah. Power, strength, endurance, self-determination, health, healing, and renewal, mental fortitude. And it's also a gateway. Wow, wow, wow. 10 of Cups, Mars and Pisces. Yeah. This is going to fundamentally change your presence, how you feel at one with the truth of the world. And the reason why I'm saying that is that you're going to feel part of the collective in a way that you've never felt before. And that is going to give you the utter spillage of cups, of water in your cups. You know, it's an abundance in a suit. And that's what you're going to feel. You're going to feel an abundance of placement in the collective whole. Whereas you may have felt separate from them or separate from the collective whole for a while, especially if your beliefs restricted your access and your engagement with the collective whole. King of Water, holy moly. Love, unconditional love. This with the mirror, it's seeing where you were not or did not have the fullest expression of unconditional love in your life, and you will now. And be able to manage the emotional ties that come with that. It's about wanting the best for everyone and understanding that it's possible, but also balancing that against other needs in your life. This is you learning to be a newer version of yourself. It's taking the knowledge of what it is that you are learning and incorporating it in a livable way in your life. And this is you also, if this is spiritual, it's you swimming in the ether. It's your intuition. It's you being able to tap into your intuition and the etheric realms and still manage to stay grounded in the physical plane. There is a lot here. And when I say unconditional love, that includes you. This could be unconditional love for yourself. Expressing self-love in a way that you never have in the past. Not from an egoic place, not from pride, but a true love of who you are and what you've been through. And, you know, with this venom, you may see parts of you that you have been suppressing, or parts of you that you wish you could go back and change, potentially. But you realize that would then take away from you being who you truly are. And then it becomes a cycle. It becomes a cycle of you, accepting your past, accepting every part of you, and loving every part of you fully. And maybe that's something you haven't been able to do in the past. And I think that's going to be part of this too, especially with the mirror. It's being able to look at yourself in the mirror and loving that reflection, no matter what. No matter what. King of Fire, that's the vision. And the 7 of Water, and these are the choices you make. It's like, wow. It's you going through that portal. It's you taking on whatever this new knowledge is. It's great truth that's being revealed to you. Living fully in that truth and figuring out how to move forward in that truth, in that embodied truth here in this world. How do you build upon that with the King of Fire, the King of Wands, the visionary of the tarot? How do you build upon that? How do you take this newfound freedom from either oppression or denial or deception in your life, and move forward with this new knowledge, this new gnosis into the world. And what doors are open to you now? And how do you choose what door you go into now? And that's going to be trial and error, I have to say, because this is going to be a new you with a new belief system potentially, or yeah. And it's figuring out, what now? My life was based on this, but I now know this to be true. How do I be this person with this new knowledge, with this new truth, with this new belief? You know, and that can be entirely alien to you, or this new mask that you now may start thinking you need to wear. But don't lose yourself in that, because we want you to be as authentic as possible, right? Because the mirror is here. So let's not choose a mask to replace the old mask. That's just my little 2 cents. It's not going to happen overnight. Being this new person is not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a while to integrate everything that you now know, and also heal the years that you didn't potentially. What I do know, Leo, is that you are stronger than ever. You have the courage and the endurance to do this. Absolutely. No questions asked. And it's all born out of love, an excess of love. It's to fill you and fill all parts of you with love. And that explosion of love is for yourself and for others, for everything and everyone. And it's consuming. It's like you're going through this portal, emerging new. This is quite miraculous. I'm going to pick out one card as a clarifier. Okay. There's 4. I guess I'll take them. You guys are the last ones. So we have Break the Rules, Elder of Passions. That is the King of Wands again. Wow. 5 of Emotion. That's the 5 of Cups. Grief is like an ocean. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of healing here. There will be a lot of healing here. But you have the King of Water and you have the 10 of Water, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Cups and the King of Cups and the 7 of Cups. This is going to take a while, because there's going to be part of you that needs to heal from not knowing all this. Whatever this truth is, whatever and however this shocks you or changes you, there's always going to be a grief that needs to be processed, especially, you know, a grief for who you were, a grief for all the things that could have been, you know, and change is grieving the past. It's fear for the future. There's just so much that needs to be unraveled here, hun. It's going to take a while, but you have the strength and endurance to do it. Be careful what you wish for. 10 of Passions. That's the 10 of Wands. Yeah. These are the burdens that you are laying down. But I also feel like there is something to be said about now having new burdens, right? With knowledge comes responsibility. And you may feel like you have new burdens. Yes, you now know the truth. Maybe you've laid some burdens down, but you're picking up some too. 2 of Thoughts, stalemate. Yeah. 3 of Passions, that's the 3 of Wands. When was the last time you felt alive? And Ace of Emotions, soften, 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 open, open. An empty cup means endless possibilities. Yeah, I think that you're going to realize that knowing is better than not knowing. And that if you had a choice, you would want to know again. You're going to take this on. I mean, you have the King of Water. You're going to be able to handle this. It's just going to take time. You're going to receive that cup and you're going to respect it and take it with you forward to do good things. I definitely feel that. And that's what I was feeling in the beginning. You'll be carrying the grief and the wands with you for a while though. And that's okay. This is a new cycle. You are starting something new and you're going to learn from it. And you're going to have to learn how to ebb and flow. And you just want to be careful. You know, you're a fire sign. You want to be careful with all the water here. You don't want your fire to become extinguished in all of this. And grief, like an ocean, can do that. But I think this is saying that you are the King of Wands twice. Remember that. Remember the confidence. Remember the passion. Remember the control of your element. Right? You're being told that twice so that you can handle all of these emotions that will come and arise from this truth. So my sweet Leos, this is amazing. It's a lot, but I know if anyone, you guys can handle this. I'm sending you all my love and light, and ask that you be protected and carried through the most difficult parts of this. I really look forward to seeing you guys in October. All right. Take care.